Welcome back to the Red Bull Analyst Desk as we break down just for a short while Game 3 of the Grand Finals here in the CECS. And for a short while, only because it was a bit of a stomp and we don't have much to talk about. But I want to draw some attention to Arch. We've been talking about him a lot. We've been talking about him a lot all series long. He was one of the no frills players to watch, and he's really been performing incredibly well in that mid lane. And in this game, guys, basically all by himself. The jungler just went bot lane constantly because when he could.
Yeah, I mean, not gonna lie, I think that for most of us, we kind of put Arch up there because he kind of popped off on Orianna last week.
Mm.
But I mean, he's showing up this series, and I think he really wants to win, and it shows in his play. I think he's just been performing really well and just putting out that damage.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, just like winning matchups that he doesn't have a right to win is very, very impressive. Um, I wanted to talk about, I mean, we talked about it right at the beginning of the game, and then it doesn't really matter in the end. But the Kai'Sa Nautilus in the bot lane, heal on Nautilus, exhaust on Kai'Sa, it ended up working out. Do we think that that was a mistake? I know draft is starting here, so maybe we can just jump to that. But as it's starting, do you think that he meant to take heal on Nautilus?
Uh, yes, I do, and I also think that that's a very bad decision.
Great. We don't have to say anything else about it. Let's go over to draft.
Right.
We got the Akali ban coming out here from GFG and the
Ooh,
Cassiopeia.
Taking away Arch.
Yeah, just taking away
yeah,
Arch. Makes sense. Makes sense.
they might. Okay,
Uh,
Samira ban kind of spoils that, but I was
Why
thinking
even-
they might go for the 5 pick Arch ban.
they
Yeah.
banned Samira every game so far. So
But
there
for
must
me,
be.
like, it doesn't make any sense. If you look at this has not been a series of 80 carries. This has been a
Yeah.
series of mid lane.
Mhm.
GFG goes for the first pick, Lulu again. This is what they did game 2 when they went Lulu. That seems like an interesting game to try this repeat strategy again, because if you remember, they lost game 2. Not as bad as the last one, but they still lost it rather handily. But I guess feeling their chances, and yeah, with that is the same draft or same pick that we got in game 2. Nocturne Nautilus was a different order before, but just Bar is more than content to run that back.
Yeah, and honestly, Lulu first pick is actually really good, simply because I mean you don't have to pair it with Kog'Maw. I think Lulu is a really good support on her own, and you can definitely pair her with other picks as well. Nunu, I'm pretty excited for. I think that having a little bit. Okay.
Don't
All
do
right,
it.
I'm gonna stop talking now.
Well, maybe they'll pick
Dang,
strong
once
lanes
again,
this time.
caster cursing.
Now the Zach, we decided the Zach pick wasn't good last time because he was diving in and not protecting the Kog'Maw. Yeah, is that the reason why?
Well, also because just generally, if you draft weak lanes, or if you, no offense, have like weaker laning players, because I think GFG, if they can get to the late game and team fight and scale, I think they're totally fine.
Okay.
That's what we want to see from
Yeah,
Sarah. That is some
Comfort picks.
that is how you know that there is still confidence. Strong mental picks of volatile champion. I'm pretty sure that's his name as well from Sarah's. Sarah's is saying, "All right, I'm done being gapped. We're winning this lane." And he goes for the Yone. That's some big cojones on that man right there.
Yeah, he heard we were talking some good stuff.
Yeah.
Okay,
Ooh,
but like that's
Vayne.
all in. What if it gets to the point where he loses again? Then what?
Then that's just mental boom. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
They have a really good team fighting comp right now with Yo and Zach. That's a lot of engage, a lot of hard to prepare for CC. And I know Vayne can interrupt Zach, but they don't really have much to deal with the Zach Yon engage if they want to engage. So in the last R4, R5 pick, they should really think about some way to be able to stop this Zach Yon combo. Otherwise, they're just going to get run. If they can get to scaling, obviously. The big thing, honestly, with GFG versus Birds Aren't Real is mostly the early game. I think if they can survive early game, there's a fighting chance. But if they lose early game again, I think there's just no chance of coming back. Birds Aren't Real have just been so pedal to the metal when they get a lead.
All right, the 4 Arch ban, by the way. Taking out taking out the Victor as well as the Orianna, are preemptively banning the Kog'Maw and the Shen. So I guess fearing for some form of protect the Kog'Maw comp, because I don't think we've seen Dirty Phil play a lot of Shen so far.
I think it's really smart, and by picking the Vayne as well, who is another champion that's notoriously good with Lulu, you don't leave Zizzers with many options, right? Like as far as the ADCs that are typically very good with a Lulu, maybe the Twitch might come out here, but as you said, Lulu is a good pick with other ADCs as well. But it's really that Kog'Maw Vayne hyper carries that she's super good with.
Yeah, I think there's a Kaisa angle.
Oh my god, don't go Ezreal.
I think he's gonna go
Like,
Israel.
why not Jinx or something?
It gives Vayne a free lane and it doesn't synergize with Lulu that
Okay.
well.
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say there was definitely a Kaisa angle there. She can follow up with the Zac Yone, and it just frees up Lulu to peel for the Yone if they're trying to all in on Sirius carrying the game. But Ezreal is, I guess
Yeah,
they're just
I
want to
think
play safe.
maybe they're just kind of drafting to have Ezreal be able to self peel.
Yeah.
But again, if that's the case, and if you want Ezreal to peel for himself and you want to play off of the Yone, just go Kai'Sa then so they can follow up on the engage. I think. But
Yeah,
Yeah,
Mark
I mean,
is
I think
there's
it was,
not too bad though.
the draft is still pretty good. Like it's not that bad.
Yeah.
It's pretty strong.
yeah. I think it was definitely just for the wanting to be safe in lane. That's something that can be pushed around if there's a range advantage. As well as Vayne actually does very well into Kaisa. So I see why they would do something like that, but Ezreal still seems like a lukewarm pick. But Mordekaiser is the final pick, and Scion for bars. So that is a Silas mid lane versus the Yone. It's going to be heavy. I think if I remember correctly, the mid laner for bar.
All right,
Lurch.
just a sec. I'll just give a quick clarification. The Scion is actually Gnar. That was just a misclick. So that's going to be a Gnar pick, not Scion.
Okay.
Okay. Honestly, difference between Scion and Arc doesn't change too much. Still weak side top lane.
Yeah, I think Reese Pieces is just feeling himself after that last game,
Yeah.
that clip at the
Yeah.
end there, that he just wants to play the Gnar no matter what. How are you guys feeling about this draft here? I mean, this is do or die for GFG. Do you think they have the draft to win this?
I mean, honestly, for me personally, both of these teams have drafted comps that provide plenty of highlight teamfight reels. So I'm just happy either way.
Yeah, I think GFG's comp is great if you can get to team fighting. The problem is they can't get to team fighting because they just lose in the laning phase. So that's a bit of an issue. I think their lanes, the Yone is a lot better of a pick, I think, than the Victor. Mordekaiser is pretty generally safe in lane. But I don't really like the bottom lane pick. I think they're gonna lose priority, which is the only thing they had in the first two games. So I'm kind of curious to see what happens. But I don't know if necessarily they're going to be able to scale. Their goal should be to try and scale and team fight because I think their team fighting is really, really good. GFG, that I'm speaking about GFG. But laning phase, I think they definitely have to try and somehow stop the bleeding. The jungler needs to make sure that he's in the lanes, protecting them, making sure that they can't snowball, and then get to the point where they can team fight. And I think they're going to be totally fine if they get there.
Well, we will find out shortly after we take a quick competitive integrity break. We'll see if GFG can take the win and bring us to silver scrapes, or if Bar will win and therefore win the series and the league. But we shall see shortly. Don't go anywhere.
Birds Aren't Real are on match point in the inaugural grand finals of the Canadian Esports Championship Series. Arch is a menace right now, Natural. We are into game 4, and GFG are fighting to stay in this series.
Arch is pretty much GFG's arch nemesis. Man, I'm funny.
Hey. Oh, and pause comes in right away.
Okay, my joke was so awful that they had to pause.
Yep, looks like we had a freeze. I'm seeing them ready up again, though, so it looks like they are back. And yeah, everybody just got to kind of bask in the glory of your joke right there. So I'm really happy it happened. So I'll just say,
yeah, record scratch, Anyways, so we've got very spicy compositions once again. I think Sirius on this Yone definitely going to be a highlight reel if he manages to get something good going. that Zac and Yone combo can be very potent. I'm
Mhm.
looking forward to it.
Yeah, so am I. Going to be really, really exciting to see. And yeah, that's, GFG have pulled out all the stops here, as this time Zizzers is in the wrong spot on our little champion list there. So we'll get that switched up. But the invade also is coming
Okay.
through. So this is going to be interesting because this time they didn't walk over a ward. This time they are looking for blood. Swark's going to spot them out first. Bog is
Oh
in
no,
danger here. Oh
Bog.
no. And there's no flash. No flash is going to be used. First blood goes to the Nocturne. Zohair is on the board a minute into the game.
Why did he walk out that way?
Yeah.
Why?
Oh man.
It's
That is rough.
rough. Yep.
You don't want to see that start, right? Because we've already talked about how Zizzers and Bog really do need to get it going. And something that I need to point out actually is that Zizzers has switched to jungle and Swark is on the Ezreal, so that could explain the
Oh,
unusual
that's
Ezreal
right.
pick there. They want Zizzers going onto the jungle pick there, and it's very very unusual to see because of course Swark is known for the Zac. So I'm just gonna see exactly, just make sure. But they're saying we're good. So yep, that. Apparently this was intended,
Okay.
even though it looks very very odd to me. Now Arch taking a bunch of damage here. Cirrus doesn't quite hit the knock-up. Nice sidestep there. Wow, this is ridiculous. I did not expect this at all. And yeah, Swark now going on to the ADC role. They've said in chat, yep, this is good. This is what we intended to do. So I'm baffled.
They're throwing a curveball. I mean, it's definitely something that you can do when you're backed up against the wall. Throwing curveballs is what you should do. I
Yeah.
just don't know if this was the curveball to throw. I'm not gonna lie. This
Well,
feels like,
because it's not it's not even a change in composition. They're
yeah,
ready for the Zac regardless. Very
it's
very bizarre.
maybe let's see if this curveball ends up just shooting themselves in the foot or actually
Yeah.
doing something. I guess we'll have to see as Reese's Pieces here. He's gonna get connected by Dirty Phil. But yeah, I don't know. We'll have to see. But I feel like the real crux of this game, regardless, is definitely going to be the mid lane. I'm
Mhm.
not going to lie to you. I feel like Arch and Sears have been star players for both teams, but here comes a gank.
Scissors trying to gank. There is Zohair available to respond. And they maybe sussed that out. So Arch going to continue to play aggressive and covered by his jungler, who's still sitting there, actually, maybe waiting for Cirrus to push. Finally gives up on it. He's just waiting for that Scuttle Crab to go, but actually he's heading into the jungle. So let's see if Zizzers gets caught out here. Zohair is getting close, and now he has found him and smites away the wolf as well. So going to be reasonably far ahead of Zizzers. Now Zohair has to run because he knows that there is the rotation coming in, and now Zohair is just way caught out. I do not know what he was planning, but he still has the flash. There we go. Cirrus flashes as well. Going to be able to get back, but Zizzers is there, and Cirrus is gifted the kill. I have no idea what Zohair was thinking. I guess he just didn't expect the rotation, but GFG equalize.
He had a priority in mid and top, but I don't know. Like the solo lanes didn't follow up on the invade fast enough.
Yeah.
Sirius and Dirty Phil just completely sacked their waves and were like, okay, I'm just going to go help my jungler, and it
Yep.
worked out.
Yeah.
So that's great there. Zizzers, he's going to be brought down a little low HP, but he's going to be fine. He, of course, still has that passive anyways. So yeah, that's great. I mean, Sirius getting a kill early is exactly what you want to see. Yone hard outscales. These team fights are just so disgusting when you get to like 2 items. But we'll have to see if he actually manages to kind of skill check Arch later on into the game.
Yeah, because we know Arch is so mechanically skilled, and on a champion like Silas, it's just going to be really. We talked about it in the No Frills pregame. That is a champion that benefits mechanical skill. Arch nearly out of mana here, but Zohair's going to show up just to cover that lane, maybe help him push it out. No, it's going to stay
Not
where
even.
it is. Just heading down, trying to get control of that dragon pit. 20 seconds to the dragon, and Zizzers is quite far away, so maybe you go for an early sneaky Drake here right on spawn.
I believe it's just going to be a Scuttle Crab, most likely. Yeah, he's just going to do the Scuttle Crab into the Grump, and then he's just going to start clearing towards his top side.
Yep.
But yeah, as you mentioned, the early dragon definitely something that we can see both teams are most likely going to work their way towards. I feel like this whole entire series have been based around dragons and those early team fight skirmishes around that Drake. And I feel like it's hard to tell in between what composition would win an early skirmish. I feel like it could go either way very easily.
Yeah, GFG definitely have switched it up with this skirmish heavy comp, with the Zac and Yone. Of course, Mordekaiser are also benefiting there in all these team fights, and they've got the team fight advantage as well, as our analyst desk mentioned. So that's going to be the question. How are they going to be able to use it? And can they make it through laning phase and get there? Gank coming in on Arch, doesn't quite get hit by the
He
Zac.
misses.
So, and Arch actually goes back in, knows that he's going to be safe from the Yone, as Zohair is making his way into mid lane as well, but it looks like all's well that ends well out there. Nobody's really going to do any damage. They have control of the river, but it's tentative control, so they're just going to leave the dragon for now, keep farming up, and keep pushing those lanes.
Yeah, no cap and the Kingsland, they have the priority in that bot lane. Looks like Swark and Bog are kind of looking to freeze this lane. I can't really agree with the idea of freezing this lane because as Lulu and Ezreal, you don't really have any way to punish them besides a Zac gank. It doesn't even look like they're playing for that. As Sears here, he has the Noon Quiver now to Arch's Blasting Wand and what's the name of that item? I forgot.
Blasting Wand and Dark Seal.
Dark Seal. Thank you very much. I usually just call it the ring. As Dirty Phil here, he's getting ulted.
Nocturne ult comes in as well. Reese's Pieces has already used the Gnar, but he's going to pull them right back in, and that's not where you want him to go, baby. So Hare gets the gank off, and Reese's Pieces gets the kill. He has been killing it this series all over the place, especially on that Gnar. Here's an engage from Kingsland as well, and actually does force the E away from Swark, but nothing more to gain there. So yeah, 2-1 for Birds Aren't Real, and once again, Zohair is looking real scary.
Yeah, oh my god, another hook.
Another hook, and that one actually ends up forcing the flash. So very nice from Kingsland, and Swark just stepping up a little too far. And yes, Swark on this ADC, I don't know. I mean, there isn't anything particularly volatile that either of these players have chosen to justify this swap, but maybe they just want to have a good time while they, while the series lasts. And, we can talk to them some other time. There's going to be a postseason podcast later on after everything is all said and done, and we will recap the whole season in a more full form, talk about how everything went, talk about these teams. Maybe we can bring some players on and ask them about some of these decisions that our analysts might have gone a little ham on them for. So we'll look forward to that, everybody. Make sure you stay tuned to twitch.tv/Manitoba_esports for all the content that's coming your way. But Birds Aren't Real, starting the dragon.
Yep, it looks like they're going to use that priority that they got in this bot lane to just start off this dragon. And with Zizzers being on the top side, as well as Sears being on a recall timing, this is just going to be a first dragon for free for Bar. It's at 8 minutes, so it's not the earliest that you can get it for, but it's still pretty good. And of course, that early Ocean Drake, very good for laning phases, especially in laning phases like Vayne into Ezreal, where you kind of get poked a little bit. But it looks like Zizzers here, he's posturing in the mid lane again. Definitely a lot of mid lane focus, as they should.
Arch dodges away from the first Q. Arch has a lot of healing and a lot of damage, steals the ult from Yone and uses it. Does he get away? He actually gets interrupted, and there's the flash, but a huge heal, and now Zohair's there. The double kill comes in. The Zac passive is popped. There's no way they're going to teleport on this one. Actually, they do, and that is Dirty Phil on his way. Zizzers survives, but only for a second. Dirty Phil's going to try to get the 2v1. He does definitely have the ability to do it, but as a Kingsland, how does he show up so perfectly every single time? Arch gonna get the kill on Dirty Phil, and Birds Aren't Real are running away with this one.
Man, oh man, a lot of misplays going on there. Sears did not use his flash. If he uses his flash into his ultimate and connects it to Arch, who was CC locked, that is a kill. That is 100% a kill, and you get out of it for free. But unfortunately, Arch, he managed to get the W off, absolutely massive healing, as you already mentioned. Yeah. And now it's just a massive advantage in favor of Bar, and it's on Arch. The star player, the player that you want all of your gold to be on, has a lot of it. And Reese's Pieces as well, he's doing fine. And as you mentioned, at Kingsland, even pulling up into that later fight, because Swark and Bog are in a recall timer. And they are not respecting the fact that Kingsland could be somewhere in the river. Dirty Phil, he's looking for a Reese's Pieces, but I don't think anything's going to happen out of this one. And Dirty Phil as well, he was in the ultimate, but I feel like he could have just ulted Arch and probably won that 1v1. Right. Instead, he opts to ult Zohair, doesn't fully commit to it, and that just gets CC'd and dies. So definitely a lot of individual mistakes here. As Zohair, he might be looking for a gank.
Coming in on Dirty Phil, and does Reese's Pieces have the Gnar available? It doesn't even matter. Zohair with so much damage. Dirty Phil cannot do anything there with only the Leeching Leer to his name right now in terms of items. Cirrus and Arch trading, but we all know which way these trades are going right now. Actually, Cirrus does quite a decent amount of damage to Arch and doesn't get healed on there. Nice job, at least, to trade evenly, but Arch wants more. Does he look for this? Goes forward, tries to dodge the Yone ult, but doesn't quite manage it, and now Cirrus is going to keep going forward. There's the Nocturne ultimate coming through. Will it go on? Oh my god, the fadeaway coming in from Arch to secure. Zohair gets the kill. Birds aren't real, are a juggernaut right now. They just keep gaining momentum. They keep going harder and harder in this series. Every single game, it feels like they level up their chemistry.
Man, that max range E was like so close. It was
So
pixel
satisfying.
close.
Yeah.
Yeah. So well played again on Arch. I mean, I feel like Cirrus again. He was so close to claiming that 1v1, but he just doesn't manage to fully execute it. And now Scissors, he's looking for a gank, but it's not working out. Oh man, I feel like we might just have a rundown of Game 3.
Potentially. George Foreman Grill do have ways. Remember, they've got a great team fight. They've got ways back into this game, but if they let, Zohair and Arch keep snowballing this mid-jungle duo, which has been terrorizing every team in the league so far, Zohair and Arch, if they let it keep snowballing like this, there's just no way to even make it to those team fights. So that is going to be the trouble that George Foreman Grill are currently running into. Now, Cirrus does have the scaling. He's got the Yone coming in. You've got Dirty Phil with the split push, but George Foreman Grill, they've got a big task ahead of them right now in these grand finals.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's a 4.5k gold difference at 12 minutes. It's big. It's like it is very consequent, especially when you have a composition that doesn't particularly get outscaled that hard. It's arguable, you have that Yone plus Lulu that scales pretty well, and you have some good team fighting, but still, I mean, you have a Vayne. Like, you have a Vayne,
Yeah.
it scales extremely well, as well as Silas and the Gnar do totally fine in those later team fights. So it's not like there is a massive gold barrier for Bar to have to overcome, as Cirrus, he's getting engaged on.
Arch going in with the ult. Cirrus actually with a very nice play, and he goes back in. Is he going to be able to get this shut down? There is Zohair with the follow-up, but really, really nice mechanical play from Cirrus there to finish that, and it's only because Zohair is on Nocturne that Birds Aren't Real go even on that one. You got to compliment Cirrus for that play.
It's honestly kind of funny to watch Yone versus Silas, as we have another 1v1 up in the top lane.
I don't think much is going to come of this. These guys are getting a little tanky. Scissors now trying to find a little damage, maybe try to take out that Rift Herald, and now Dirty Phil's really, really struggling. Reese's Pieces has to drop the tower aggro, but he's going to be able to get this first tower at 13 minutes in. So all 5 plates taken by the Gnar. Reese's Pieces can be terrifying, as well as his fellow top side players. So keep an eye on that Gnar up there. Already destroying Dirty Phil in lane, and Dirty Phil, that teleport and that roam that he did to try to get Zohair at level 1, the teleport into mid. He's just suffering so much in terms of the matchup because of the way he was distracted by those 2 plays.
Yeah, it put him so far behind. And it feels like all lanes are behind at this point. I mean, despite that shutdown going over to Cirrus, it's still almost a 6k gold lead now for Bar. And yeah, I mean, it looks like they're going to fight again. It looks like there's constant fighting here.
Trying to gank. They really want to stop the snowball. Arch does flash away, though, and he also stole the Let's Bounce. Keep an eye on that. But Arch does get the flash blown, so nice gank, successful gank there by Scissors. Cirrus still going to be threatening. Finish the shield bow now, and still going to be dangerous. But another dragon goes over. It's Cloud Soul for the last game, if it is the win for Birds Aren't Real. So they're going to try and finish this one off with Cloud Soul here, as George Foreman Grill don't want this to be the last game. They're looking to bring us to that game 5, bring us the distance in this series, but they have a very, very difficult time doing it with the current state of the game.
Cloud Soul is great on Bar. It is actually very, very good. The Nocturne ultimate being on cooldown, off cooldown faster, as well as giving you that extra movement speed is totally good, as well as Silas, of course. And the Vayne
as well.
You're just running at people, man. And even Nautilus, I don't even have to mention it. Cloud Soul is great on Bar's team. It's decent on GFGs as well. So this is definitely a soul that both teams will want to contest and that will impact the game. But
It's
look,
honestly just okay on GFG's team.
yeah,
There isn't maybe on Zach, but the rest it's not.
I guess it's not the
It doesn't have the same
best.
effect as on Birds Aren't Real's team. But yeah, the soul definitely will be something they want to prevent Birds Aren't Real from getting. So, like you said, this series has been so dragon focused. Here's a dive coming in though. Right now we got the mid focus. That's a great play from Cirrus to get out of that one. Nice reflexes on the Q. Uses the ultimate to get away. The tower goes down, but at least Cirrus lives to fight another day.
Yeah, good timing there. Not much to say. The Yone does have quite a lot of mobility in this kit, so he can use those tools at his disposal to escape from dives, just as he did there. As we see now, taking a look at the items here, we have the QSS tax being paid by Reese's Pieces, as well as the Mythic Plus boots completed. He's going to be feeling very, very comfortable, as well as Zohair. Take a look at that Serpent's Fang, as Archie. Okay, he's going to actually go back in.
Cirrus is on the flank here, but it doesn't look like they're confident in their damage, and that was the right choice. Dirty Phil, you can see pop the ultimate, and he and Arch are just kind of taunting each other at the edges of the Death Realm. So now the cavalry arrives for GFG, but it's too late. The fight is over. There's nothing to be gained here, unless Kingsland and Arch kind of cross into an odd situation here. Zizzers gets a good amount of crowd control down, and Cirrus gets the kill. That's a great pick for GFG, and I'm not sure what the two Birds Aren't Real players were doing wandering into that area of the map.
Yeah, I mean, Zohair didn't have his ultimate, so he couldn't really join the fight. And Kingsland and Arch, they're just taking a pretty dangerous pathing there. Not the safest way to go back into that lane, and they're going to get caught and punished for it. So great on GFG to realize that Arch and Kingsland have misplayed a little bit, have mispositioned, and they punish it accordingly. But again, I mean, it is a tall mountain to climb back from. I just want to compliment Zohair for that Serpent's Fang. I think it's a great option here. There's a lot of shielding, of course, on GFG's side with that shield bow, that Lulu, as well as I believe Mordekaiser does have a shield at his disposal.
Yeah, he does. Yeah. And Silas as well. Yeah, it's really. I think Serpent Fang is a highly underutilized item in general. Sorry, not Silas. Yone as well. I think that Serpent Fang in general is a highly underutilized item, and I love when people pick it up against big shieldy comps because it does so much damage. Now here comes the engage. Flash comes in. Nothing's going to come of this, and actually Zohair takes a decent amount of damage, but now Bog has stepped up too far. That teleport's pretty late. Zohair very close to dying, but just survives. Cirrus goes in with the ultimate, gets exhausted. Now he can't catch up. He's stuck in the middle of a couple of players. No Cap putting more damage down. The Vayne gets the kill. Swark goes down as well, and that is so many kills. 3 for 0 for Birds Aren't Real. They just keep steamrolling forward.
Bar just completely baiting everything out of GFG there.
Huge.
It looks like Cirrus, he was going for a bit of a... The thing about Yone is that he has a lot of reach. He can reach the back lane very easily, and you can see that he's trying there, right? He flashes in, he uses the ultimate as well as the E, but I feel like the way that he used those abilities to chain each other wasn't exactly precise enough, and he doesn't reach the back lane. He gets crowd controlled, and at the end of the day, I believe that was like a 3 for nothing. So yeah, it's very rough there for GFG. They're looking down the barrel of a very fed Nocturne, as well as a very comfortable Gnar and Vayne now on 2 items actually already. It's looking rough.
Yeah, Swark's done a nice job to keep up in farm here, but yeah, Vayne with a 4 kill participation, so much stronger at this point here, and it's only going to get worse with the scaling. Pardon me. So now Dragons become the focus once again as they continue to be in these grand finals. 7 seconds left on this Cloud Dragon, and neither team has particularly strong control of the river here, but Birds Aren't Real just have such control of the game. They've got so many options in terms of team fights, and they're so much further ahead in gold that it feels like GFG might have to give this one up instead. Birds Aren't Real might be looking for a fight here. No, they're just going to clear out vision, back off to the Dragon.
Yeah, it looks like Bar just have absolute control over this part of the jungle now, and they just can't walk up. As Reese's Pieces here, the Mega Gnar expires.
Cirrus going in. Reese's Pieces in a little bit of trouble here, but not going to be enough damage there. Unfortunate for that to miss, and that's a lot of cooldowns committed. So the Dragon goes over. Soul point for Birds Aren't Real. We mentioned how amazing a Cloud Soul would be on this team. and they're one away. 5 minutes and counting until that one spawns. So Birds Aren't Real, once again, a very, very clear way to win. All they've got to do is execute, and they haven't had that much trouble with execution in this series so far.
Yeah, the execution has been pretty on point as now we can see the gold difference, 3,000 gold difference in the jungle as well as in the top lane. That is absolutely massive. It's huge. Yeah, it's just such a brutal amount of gold that you're going into every fight with such a massive deficit that even if you do play better, it's probably not going to matter. It's on bar to make some really egregious positioning mistakes, then get punished by maybe some kind of Zac Yone combo for them to be able to bring this back and maybe be able to win this finals.
Yeah, that's what they need, right? And you know, you got to give compliments to George Foreman Grill because Birds Aren't Real have looked so dominant over the entire season. They have been so strong. They've looked absolutely unstoppable. They have pretty much been unstoppable. And George Foreman Grill have already taken a game off of them in this series, which is impressive in its own right. Reese's Pieces now going in with the Gnar. Might be trying to do something impressive, but Dirty Phil gets the shield up, and yeah, Reese's Pieces just doesn't quite have the damage there, having itemized into the Quicksilver Sash to avoid that Death Realm. So Roman Grill get away from that one, and actually the Gnar ultimate is committed, so Birds Aren't Real, not finding anything out of that. But yeah, like I said, you know, all compliments to George Foreman Grill. They've been amazing all season long, and they have done such a great job at, you know, challenging Birds Aren't Real in a lot of these games, but you know, like I said, Birds Aren't Real. They just keep leveling up in this series. They have the grand finals buff on them, it feels like. And, you know, it's hard to see how you're going to stop them.
Absolutely. At this point, stopping them is going to take multiple mistakes, as now it looks like Bar, they are looking for this Baron. Of course, with that Vayne being very good at shredding Barons, especially now that she is on that Dragon Slayer, actually opting out of the PD. She did have it available on her last deck.
She actually bought it and sold it, actually. I'm sure I saw it in her inventory, so...
Yeah, just
or undid it, maybe.
Yeah, just reverted that buy and opting instead for the Blade of the Ruin King, which is not a horrible option. There is a lot of HP scaling on GFG's side for sure. But anyways, Reese's Pieces here, he's just on to 2 people, and the fight breaks out.
The ultimate coming in. Zohara's already taken out Dirty Phil with that Nocturne ultimate. So now the rest of George Foreman Grill are trying to pick up the pieces of this situation, trying to find whatever they can with this Baroned up Birds Aren't Real barreling down the mid lane. Couldn't think of a B name for mid lane, so I just had to go with it. But 12-3 in kills right now, and Birds Aren't Real are up a player as well. So they're going to be able to take down this top tower, and we'll see what else they can get. We'll see what George Foreman Grill want to do to respond to this, or if they're just going to give up a lot of their base. But Reese's Pieces going in, does get the 2-man ultimate. Swark manages to get away. Bog is out of there, but Scissors is in, now coming with Cirrus, but the ultimate is stolen. Silas using it as well. Cirrus doesn't manage to finish the kill. Teleport comes through. That's going to save the Zac for now, but look at the mid lane. Turrets going down. Arch also going to take some damage. Arch, oh, does he go down? He's so low, and he goes back in for the heal. Is he going to fall? Finally, he does. And actually, George Foreman Grill look like they might be able to find some success in this team fight. And the reason is because No Cap Only Gap was pushing mid instead of doing damage.
And George Foreman Grill, they bring a team fight back from the brink. We didn't see it there, but Sirius found a very decent engage. He managed to find an ultimate as well as a Q on multiple people, doing quite a decent amount of damage. Because no cap, only gap isn't there, they just don't have the extended damage to finish this team fight off. And it's like no cap, only gap. He's still farming. He hasn't backed in a very long time. Okay, we're finally gonna see him recall.
Finally get that, but the Ruin King,
but GFG finding a beautiful window of opportunity there. They realize that they have a numbers advantage and they have to force the fight now, or else they lose the game. And they execute it successfully. Now they bring back the gold lead to only 10K, which is still a very high amount.
When you bring it back into perspective, it doesn't feel so great. But yeah, George Foreman Grill, it's exactly what they need, is that decisiveness. They see the ADC separated from the team. They're like, all right, we don't have a choice. We are going in now. And Cirrus leading the charge there along with Scissors on the Zac. So very, very impressive stuff. This is the Dragon Soul, though. Will they be able to get it? Will they be able to kite it out? Or will it be stolen once again? This time we test Zizzer's smiting skill. He goes in early, though. They want the fight. Kingsland is already pretty low. They're still focusing the dragon, and it does go. That's the dragon's soul, but a lot of damage has been done. Look at this George Foreman grill. Arch is on the back line, though. Reese's Pieces and No Cap looking for the way in, but they're just not able to find that much damage. And look at what's going on with George Foreman Grill. I don't understand how they're winning these fights, but No Cap, once again, the only one left, and the only two players who went down were Zizzers and Bog. So No Cap is now caught way back in no man's land. They got the dragon, and they focused it pretty hard, maybe at the risk and at the sacrifice of not being able to focus down the players. No Cap only gap on the Great Escape, and look at that teleport to confirm the kill. Cirrus is here. No Cap needs a huge outplay, and he gets one. Oh my god, this is what we were looking for from No Cap. Huge individual play to get that last kill.
Great stuff from No Cap to at least get a kill back, but honestly, it doesn't really matter that much because Cirrus does get the shutdown on him, which is equally devastating. And this is the teamfight composition that we were talking about. This is what we wanted from them. Zizzers flies in with the Zac ultimate. Cirrus follows up with his own ultimate of his own. And then once that kind of those cooldowns have been used, Lulu is is there to back up all of the front line and keep them alive for long enough until those cooldowns come back up. And finally, we see the composition that GFG were planning on executing work out finally. But again, this is still the Cloud Soul. It's still the Cloud Soul, and there's still a very decent gold lead. But they have to keep the ball rolling. They have to turtle this game until Yone and Lulu are at a point where they can solo 2v5 fights. Solo 2v5 fights, a bit of an oxymoron there. But yeah, it's going to be, they have to keep executing team fights just like this over and over again, and they might just be able to bring this game back.
Birds Aren't Real can mess up a few more times. George Foreman Grill probably can't mess up even one more time, or else this series is over. So that is the pressure that's being put on right now for GFG, but maybe they're up to the task. We've already seen impressive stuff. Here comes the Nocturne Ultimate. There's the flash. Reese's Pieces wants to go in. When will the Nocturne Ultimate come in? It went towards the bottom lane, actually. Zizzer's going to be crowd controlled. No Cap is the one who gets the kill there. Arch does go down on the other side, though, so Bar need to find something over here, and they don't. That's going to be the ADC going down. No Cap and Arch both die, only for one, and now the chase is on. Like you said, these team fights now slowly going into the favor of GFG, and Birds Aren't Real just ended up being split there.
No Cap only gap there. It's a questionable tumble into the turret. I know that you want the kill, but also on the way out, he tanks, I think, one more turret shot than he should have, and he's going to go down for it, and that's a very positive trade. You're totally fine with sacrificing your Zac for a few seconds in exchange for some more gold on your carries, and now it looks like GFG might just be able to team fight normally again. I mean, normally as in on their own terms, not only kind of suffering their engage and then trying to find some miracle play. They might just be able to fight when they want to, as now Cirrus and Bog, this Lulu Yone combo, super annoying to deal with.
Yeah, it's starting. I might be starting to believe, Natural. I might be starting to be ready for us to get a little bit further in this series. GFG are making a compelling case for it, but they're still well behind in gold. And remember, there's still that vein. No Cap did blunder a little bit there, and that team fight stepped a little too far up, but still, No Cap is a very mechanically skilled player. As long as they can keep him alive, BAR definitely do seem to have the advantage here. Now Zizzer's going to try to get away, does manage to get over both of those walls, so he will, but the Baron is up, and with Zizzer's out of the picture for now, will they just rush it down? You mentioned how fast that Vayne does it. GFG going to approach.
Yeah, it looks like they want to contest this. I think they should. They definitely have the opportunity to do so. They just can't walk into too tight of a corridor into the Megagnar. That's really all they have to be careful about, but this Baron is going down very quickly.
They're giving it. Yep, unfortunately, Arch and Zohair are doing well enough to zone away. That's going to be another Baron for Birds Aren't Real. They are still nearly 10,000 gold ahead. They are still on their way to a victory here in Game 4. And it's up to GFG. They need to still have a mountain to climb here. Amazing work so far from them, in this mid game. And like you said, that team fight composition is starting to come into play. We're just going to have to find out if it was too little too late.
Yeah, it is. It is definitely going to be what we are going to be focusing on. But you know, the Baron at the end of the day, the gold lead is already there, so it's not like you care that much about some extra
Right.
gold. And the team fighting benefits of Baron aren't that huge, so I guess GFG are okay with giving it up. It's as you said, right? If you misplay once, you lose the entire series. So it's totally understandable why they want to be careful. But yeah, it's difficult. I understand the process of thought in GFG there.
So we are approaching what I believe is our first Elder Dragon of the game, if somebody goes for it, of the series, pardon me. I don't believe we've gone to Elder at all this series. So that's another layer to add to this game here, playing around that Elder Dragon, trying to find that gigantic buff. And while Baron might not affect your team fighting that much, well, Elder certainly freaking does. That is going to be so decisive in terms of who ends up winning the next team fight. And if Birds Aren't Real manage to get it, they might be able to finally turn one of these team fights fully in their favor. So that's the question that we're looking for now. What will they do to get control? No cap clearing out wards. Everybody coming around. All 5 of GFG are grouped up right here in this bush, trying to get as much info as they can. You can see a Kingsland trying to flank over the other side. Is No Cap caught out here? No, goes away. Teleport coming in from the Gnar. Over on the side, doesn't have a very effective flank, and in fact, you can
No
see
Mega
he's just
Gnar.
running straight down mid. He also doesn't have Mega, like you said, so running straight down mid, trying to push in, and it's going to split the team. GFG looking for that, but now GFG are split here, with Dirty Phil having to answer Reese in the mid lane.
Yeah, he cannot match him that easily, and it looks like he's going to be punished for it. But now the Elder is going down.
Scissors looking for the steal almost for sure, and they do reset it, so that's going to be definitely benefiting. But look at that, Reese's Pieces is going in on the solo play. There's 2 things to focus on right now because here we go. GFG want to go in for this team fight. There has been a little bit of damage from the Dragon done over to Birds Aren't Real, but the turret has gone down in mid lane. This is a 50-50 right here. Cirrus going in. Cirrus gets a huge knock up there. Does manage to get a lot of damage down, but is it going to be enough? They go in. Arch has taken down the Yone. That's huge. That might spell the end of the game. Kingsland is about to go down as well, and the teleport comes in. It's so close on the team fight, but it's not decisive, and that means everybody's going to have to back up. But look at Reese's Pieces. Look at him go. He's trying to split the map. He's trying to end this series right now. Reese's Pieces wants that championship. Will he do it? The recalls are coming in. Are they going to manage to get back in time? Arch and Reese's Pieces nailing down on the base. Scissors coming in. Scissors trying to get both. Gets the double knockup. Will they find this Nexus? No, they won't. They have to back off. GFG have gotten back just in time, and Arch goes down.
It is so close. The macro plays from both teams. It is neck and neck. Reese's Pieces and Arch, they're so close to ending the game here, but they both get knocked up. And then Arch, he gets hit with the WQ from Ezreal that chunks him for so much health because of that Divine Sunder. And Arch almost takes down Swark. I feel like if they committed, this might have been a possible game end, but they decide to split up. And unfortunately, Arch goes down. But the good news for Bar is that they do claim the Elder because No Cap was still there. And of course, at this point in the game, as of Vayne, you have no problem soloing that Elder Dragon with that max HP damage. And now it is, I mean, Swark, we were questioning that swap as well as the Ezreal pick, but now he's very well off into his game. He's 6-1 and 6.
Huge.
He's huge. Exactly as you said. But the thing is, No Cap, he 3 autos pretty much anyone on their team and they disappear. So it's going to be team fights that are going to be so close. And I think Swark needs to find a lot of poke damage onto No Cap only Gap so that they can win this fight. And with the Elder as well as the Cloud Soul, I think at this point they want to fish for some kind of end play. They're pushing into the base.
Fewer and fewer objectives available on the map as I catch my breath and lower my heart rate a little bit here after that potential game. And it didn't happen there, but now the inhibitor is being threatened. Reese's Pieces goes in, only finds Dirty Phil with the ultimate. Now the engage from Scissors. There's the Nocturne ultimate going down. Where is he going? He gets caught, and he takes a lot of damage there, but already Scissors has gone down. Kingsland, No Cap is on the back. No Cap is doing so much damage. The Elder Dragon is destroying George Foreman Grill. And that is the Quadra coming in. What is he going to find? No, Arch takes the last kill, and Birds Aren't real. They're coming for you with the conspiracy theories. They are coming for you with the scientific proof. We now know, we have it confirmed, birds have never existed in the history of the world. Birds are not real, and they win the Canadian Esports Championship Series Season 1.
A final game of inches, so close on so many different plays. GFG, they almost came close to reverse sweeping this game and maybe the series, but Bar, they managed to take down Game 4. They take down GFG and claim the throne. Are you okay there, Wes?
What a game, man. That was so much fun to cast, Natural. I am just glowing right now. And yeah, George Foreman Grill, you got to compliment them. Before we send it back to the Red Bull analyst desk, I just want to say, man, like George Foreman Grill played their hearts out in this series. Birds Aren't Real have the snowball effect. They are so good at this game, and they do so much damage to your mental. They do so much in the game, and George Foreman Grill fought back really valiantly. So amazing game from them. They've done such great work, but all credit has to go to Birds Aren't Real in this game. Every player on their team stepping up over the course of this series, and they were the better team on the day. They were the best team in our league. They deserve this win.